Hi guys, the Gamescast here, and welcome to my review of Captain America Civil War. Now, I've been holding this back for a long time, because I made this presentation like a week ago, but it's taken me a long time to get ready and write the script and all the sketch and everything. Anyway, and also I haven't done something on the computer for a long time. I only did my tablet video a few days back. Anyway, so it finally came out. That was a really amazing movie. I have a lot of things to talk about, but if we go fast enough, we're probably going to make the 7-minute time limit. As you can see, I need to talk about some stuff that you might not know. In case you're wondering, there are spoilers ahead. Duh. So first and foremost, I need to talk about the teams. I'm going to start with Team Iron Man. Now, this includes Iron Man, again, duh. So, Iron Man, the guy who realizes his mistakes and starts to work for the government. He believes that if we can't accept our limitations, we're no better than bad guys. Next, Black Widow. Seeing as how she betrayed Team Iron Man in the middle of the movie, I did think she didn't actually believe in the Registration Act. I think she was just in it because she was part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Other than that, it might just be a hint towards some deeper thought of hers. After that, we have Black Panther. I'm going to leave Black Panther for later discussion because I got a whole section on him. Anyway, War Machine. He's like Falcon. He just sticks with Iron Man wherever he goes. Also, he was already part of the military, so to him it doesn't really matter that he's getting recruited by the government. Vision is really just in agreement with the Registration Act. I mean, in the movie he states a statistic fact about crime rates rising ever since Iron Man made his alter ego public. Lastly, for Spider-Man, again, I have another section on him. Cap's team is my team, the awesome team. We're just big team, good friends, and people who believe in each other. Although at first they're actually fighting over the Registration Act, then they realize about Zemo's scheme, and all they're trying to do is stop him. They include Captain America, the leader of the team, and the legendary World War II super soldier, a favorite of mine, you know, if you're my friend. While in the comics he's fighting because he actually thinks that the Registration Act is not a good idea, in the movie he's mainly fighting to protect Bucky. Speaking of which, Bucky has changed, but I've also got a section on him we need to talk about. Next, we also have Ant-Man, Scott Lang, the guy who could become tiny. Okay, he's actually pretty cool in the movie because he's really big like Goliath in the comics. Like he becomes really big for like a short amount of time. Next we got Hawkeye, which personally I feel is actually a pretty good superhero, but he's surrounded by people so strong he looks weak in comparison. Anyway, enough of these feelings. He's part of Cap's team, which he came out of retirement to join, which he left a wife and kids to join, which once again shows he really believes in Cap and his team. Another good addition. Afterwards, we have Falcon, Cap's best friend. Falcon is just Cap's wingman, get it? Terrible jokes. No, he's just a really good friend. And like he said, people who shoot at you usually wind up shooting at me too. Close to lastly, we have the Scarlet Witch, who adds the whole drama to the movie because of her relationship with Vision. Although, personally, I don't really care. Even though in the comics, like, when Vision died, she created the House of M event, where, like, Magneto became the world leader. It was weird. Anyway, because of her power, which is she's the most valuable addition to the team other than Cap himself because of her power to levitate and protect anything. Agent 13, Sharon Carter, is just a brief addition to the team as she supplies them with a set of information she required. Well, they required. Next is Black Panther. The Wakandan king is very different than he is in the comics. His dad died differently than in the comics because in the comics his dad was killed by Claw, a supervillain, while in the movie he was killed by who at first they thought was Bucky, but then ended up being actually Zemo with like Bucky's face. Also, he was a little more selfish, I think, and he's not on the same side as in the comics. Like in the comics, he was on Cap's side because Goliath died. But in this one, he's a little more selfish because he just joins Iron Man's team to kill Bucky because he thinks Bucky caused the explosion that killed his dad, and all he does is say that he wants to kill Bucky. I like the Black Panther of the comics who was on Cap's team, but this one wasn't so great. Speaking of Bucky, Bucky is still Cap's best friend, but he's really grown apart from his brainwashed past. He's a lot more understanding, and he really feels bad for what he did in the past. He is still just as badass, though, so it's good. I really like the Bucky of this movie, because, like, he's not the asshole that he was in The Winter Soldier, and he's a lot like the Bucky that used to be when he was best friends with Cap during World War II. Next we have Zemo, who's a lot different than he's on. I don't really have much to say about Zemo, except he's pretty cool, but his story is different. In the comics, as many of you probably know, he's the one who kills Bucky. He also is not in the movie. He's also not actually German, so yeah, that's that. The Superhuman Registration Act. I have a lot to say about this, even though it isn't even in it isn't even the main concern of the movie. It fixes the mistakes of the comic version, where it's not just the U.S. who regulates their operations, but the UN itself. This is much better because then there is no fear that the U.S. uses the superheroes to wage war on another country. However, with the Superhuman Registration Act, since it applies to everyone, you would have thought Hulk and Thor would have been in this, as well as all other superheroes. Yeah, because, like, in a comic, guys, why would anyone be on the pro-registration side? Because then the U.S. is literally in control of them. So they're like, oh, guys, these guys are bad guys. We have to invade them. But no, that's just public opinion. It's not actual bad guys. So, anyway. Here is the final section. We have done it a little over the 7-minute line, but we still got a while anyway. Here we are on the final section. Spider-Man was not well represented in this movie, I think. He was just a kid looking for a college grant, while in the comics he really believed in the cause. Well, at least until the part where Cyborg Thor killed Goliath. So yeah, I feel like he's less important and worthwhile to the cause. So I just feel like he's not really believing, because, like, in the comics, he talked about it to Mary Jane and Aunt May, but in here, he didn't even say anything, and in the comics, they already knew he was Spider-Man, so it's kind of, I don't know. So that was my review of Captain America Civil War. It was a really amazing movie, and I would really suggest watching it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, like, share, and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.